Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another fabulous Frieren Friday. Today it is the 15th, so we've got that alliteration going for us. And yeah, we're down now to the final Frieren, if you will. We're checking out the third to last episode of Season 1 of Frieren. I know Season 2 is on the way. I have no idea when it's coming. I'm super excited for it. I cannot wait to be on board with everyone else, at the same level, at the same point, unless you're a manga reader. But yeah, this has been an incredible journey, and it's hard to see this coming to an end. There's still this second trial to finish, and then from my understanding, there will be one more after it, so that'll have to be wrapped up in an episode or two unless we continue into season 2 with these characters in this arc and we just wrap it up early season 2 and then we move on, maybe this arc is actually huge and it lasts for a very long time. What do I know? But yeah, this has been such a great arc, such a great series, and I'm very excited to see what comes next. We are going to see Frieren versus Frieren potentially this episode, unless that blast from Fern was enough to take it out. I don't think it would have. It kind of seemed like it was setting up for something grander, but at the same time, I think it would be super cool if Fern had taken it out in that single shot. That just goes to show the power of Fern. But then there's that question of, would Fern hold back knowing that it is Frieren-ish? Who knows? I cannot wait to see what comes. This episode, we're gonna maybe see Frieren and Fern versus Frieren, and maybe more. Outside of that, Denkin and the crew are going to be fighting off all the other replicas. We need to see what Ubel and Land are up to. We need to see what Veerbel's up to. Just all these crazy things, all these questions of what will come next. But we're going to face forward, we're going to charge forward, and we're going to finish this second trial, and we're going to take out this monster, whatever it's called. I can't even remember the name of it. Spiegel? Is it Spiegel? But yeah, we're going to check this one out. I hope that you guys enjoy. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, and comment down below letting me know if there's been an announcement for when season 2 is coming. Just let me know when it's going to be, because I need to know. But yeah, here we go. Frieren, episode 26, I believe. Let's go. Okay, we're starting with Zirie. Yep, the Demon King or a human mage. And that's when we cut to Fern killing the fake Frieren. I like though that when it does show the little recap sections, I feel like I could be wrong here, but I feel like it sometimes shows different angles from the scenes that we saw previously. I don't remember if we saw that scene exactly how it was, with watching Zirie from behind and then her turning around and we see her smiling as she says it. Have I talked enough about how great this opening is? I love this opening. This is a really great one. I don't know if it's a controversial pick, but I do probably prefer this one a lot more over the first opening. I just love the vibe. I just love Yorishika. I'm such a fan of hers already, and I've only heard her in a few different things. Here we go. Episode 26, the Height of Magic. Oh shit. Is that fake Frieren still standing? It is. Holy shit. What is that? Looks like she's conjuring a galaxy. Look at, they were popping off in the animation already. The episode just started. Oh my god, okay, we are getting to see truly what Frieren can do here in this episode. And it's not gonna hold back. This is amazing. I'm so pumped. Look at her go. Using more than just basic fighting magic. She created her own rock golem? Holy shit. Is this rock golem doing anything? Oh, it's also sending off sparks. Does it replicate what she does? Ooh, Fern. Not quick enough. When is the fake Frieren going to turn its attention to Fern here? That's going to be Frieren's weakness. Real Frieren. Attrition. Haha. Okay, they did go and get into positions. Okay, I think that's good. See, Methode knows way too much. She's a master of everything almost. Jack of all trades, as I've been saying. Oh, okay. The exact locations. I think that's a good idea. I'm glad this is how we're doing things. Okay, so Lavine's weakness is, or is it Kane? I'm forgetting the names. Is the other? Is that what I'm gathering here? Oh shit, okay. I would have thought that Richter would be against, you know, the one who uses water. That just made more sense to me, because there's no water here to use. Oh, use numbers to fight anyone we can't face alone. Methode, who's fighting you? Oh, okay. Can you not deal with speed? Is that it? Is speed your weakness, Methode? I love this OST playing too, it's so good. Evan calls popping off once more. Right as I say that, it stops. What's the concern? She's concealing. Is that it? Huh. Shit. Damn, it's those that are really skilled at making their mana impossible to detect. That's the whole reason she's here. She was the final boss. Kind of peaceful? I'm not sure I agree. All their replicas are going to be trying to kill us. Like, literally kill us. It's not just hurt us until we go down sort of thing. No. Was that Zensei? It is. Jeez. So those weren't lethal blows. But still, that's... They could be lethal if they don't bleed. Denkin. Oh, does he know? Oh, they did both break their bottles. Ah, shit. Okay, well, they're out of it. At least they'll be okay and they'll survive. That's the one good thing here. Denkin, don't get yourself in any damage. Oh, shit, okay. Oh, Ubel, what are you going to be able to do here? Could you, like, use that spell to keep it in place? Sorguile? Is that what it's called? Ah, this is necessary. She's like, I don't need you to give me the rundown. I just need to know, do I need to do this thing? But she can learn. She's gonna learn real quick. Or can she even learn against a replica? Let's go, Ubel. Wanna explain? A spell that cuts almost... Okay. Okay. You gonna cut around her? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. You were gonna target the hair. Ah, you can visualize beating her. That's the hardest part, right? Just like getting yourself to that mental space. Sorganile doesn't work. You thought this would happen? Oh shit, really? Ubel's that good? She killed, yes, she killed one of the first class. Yes. Tell us about this. I've been wanting to know. Shit, not even once. But then Ubel killed him? Immovable cloak. What is the point of this test? To try and hurt him? Ah. And Ubel, what does she do? Does she go right for the face where there's no cloak? She used a physical attack. Oh no. Was it literally just physical? Why? Ah. There's always a seam or like a little gap, even if it looks tiny. This is part of your training? How you came to be? Oh my gosh, she looks crazy. Yeah. It really does. It's very satisfying. The way she's all about cutting is reminding me a lot of Sukuna. Yeah. It's not just about imagining that you can do something, you have to be able to produce the spell or the power to be able to do it. Yeah, all magical attacks. That's why I'm wondering, like, was it magic that she used? That she did, and she was, you know, she made the right call, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna say that doesn't make sense. Yo, she's OP. So basically what I'm learning here is that she can visualize beating Frieren and actually beat Frieren. Ubel has the power of a first-class mage then. That quick. It was that easy. That's so funny. Okay, Method has shown up. So your group has won. That's good to know. You've got to find your weakness. Infinite options, absolutely. It all depends on what the other person does. What do you mean will help? You want to pass the test too, do you not? Oh, Dankin and Fern. Oh. She wants to handle Fern alone. That she does. So you don't want to kill, you just want to stop? Oh, shit. Can it just keep reproducing them? That's what I was wondering in the previous episode. It can just keep reproducing. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, it comes down to Frieren at this point. So did Fern actually kill the other Frieren last episode, but it just came back because the Spiegel... But then again, I don't know, because they would have probably just burst through the door and killed the Spiegel real quick. Damn. That's crazy. It's just, it looked like a gun. So many people being taken out, and then we're just cut back to this. Holy shit. It looks incredible. What are we gonna do? You gonna go sicko mode?
なら隙を作ろう。そんなことができるのですか？私が隙を見せれば、相手はもっと大きな隙を見せる。
Are you gonna drop all your mana completely? Are you gonna leave yourself entirely vulnerable? Shit.
その場合の作戦は
Whoa!
任せるよ。
What was that?
と思っているのなら勝てる。なぜそう言い切れるのですか？だって私はフェルンのことを舐めているから。
That's like the nicest compliment she's probably ever given you. Actually, I doubt it. Look at this! It's literally summoning every planet in the solar system. Holy shit. The fractures? Wow. I want to know what everyone else is detecting on the outside. What was that? Holy shit. It's cracking. Oh no. Oh, Frieren's been hurt. Here we go. This is our last shot. Fern. We got her. Did we lose an arm? I couldn't tell. Did Frieren lose an arm? Holy shit, Fern. You're just built different when it comes to that shit. Okay, fake Frieren lost an arm. Oh, look at that face. Oh, that... Her staff. That was the face of someone who's been pushed against the wall with nothing else to lose. It's not a spell? What is it? The height of magic, absolutely. She is the height of magic. Oh, this is probably what the fight against. Oh. It was Frieren after all that did it. This is probably what Frieren looked like when she was fighting the Demon King. They did it. That was insane. To use that? We're gonna defeat the Spiegel. The big giant crystal thing. It's very weak, we've been told. We have to do it quick. There we go. We've saved everyone. And everyone knows that the reason they're passing this test is Frieren. Wow, she was dodging? Look at those craters. We're back to this again. Oh, that's funny. I'm so sad though that Lavine and Richter were taken out. And you're the first people to ever pass one of Zensei's tests. Yeah, but isn't there a third test? Oh, are they... Did they find treasure? Are they looting? Ah! Of course. Was that another one right beside it too? Don't tell me she fell for 2 mimics in a row. Wow. That was such a great arc. That was a really fun test. I'm glad we got to see some dungeon diving. And that was episode number 26 of Frieren, the Height of Magic. And holy shit, they could call this the hype of magic. They could call this whatever they want. This was amazing. Like, I love that we got so much of the Frieren Fern fight, but I do think that with this arc being how it is, you know, so focused and so worried about everyone, I guess you could say, like, there are so many characters in this arc. I think it would have been a shame to just have their side of things kind of sidelined. I do love that while, yes, I wish that we stayed on that fight for, like, the entire episode. Like, just from a spectacle level, I think that story-wise, I think that it was a great choice to show everyone else getting in position, doing their thing, working towards slowing all these replicas down and helping Frieren out so that she cannot be ambushed in the end. Also, I just realized something. It literally just came to my mind right now. Frieren says she hasn't used that in 80 years. So she used it against the Demon King. So, like, yeah, that's amazing. Like, I think I was even saying something like that while it was happening. I was like, wow, she probably used stuff like this against the Demon King, blah, blah, blah. But, like, I did like for some reason it just didn't connect with me that when she says she hasn't used it in 80 years, that's what she's talking about. Yeah, my apologies for dropping the ball on that one while watching, but I did realize, and I have realized now. A couple little things I want to talk about, like before I dive into the episode itself and kind of just, focus on individual sections of the episode and talking about like this, that, and the other. I just wanted to make little comparisons, and I kind of alluded to it while watching the episode, and I'm not saying comparisons like one copied the other or anything like that. For me, this is probably the best looking on a spectacle level anyway. I know that I'll explain after, actually. I'm not going to go on tangents. Action animated sequence that I have seen since Sukuna versus Maharaga. And like, I know that those two fights are very different, but it just has made all the funnier that I thought that the spell that Ubel can use, Replicendin or whatever, I'm butchering that. It reminds me a lot of Sukuna's Cleave and Dismantle, I think it's called. Where it can cut through almost anything and it's just like these sharp slashes. That's definitely what I thought of. I just think it's funny then that it's been quite a while since I've made, ye old JJK reference in one of these videos. Like it used to be every other video I would just throw a JJK reference joke in there because back when I was making my first reaction videos, like this is lore that isn't relevant, but if you want to know the whole lore behind JJK references and why like I think it's funny to make them in these videos, I did like make a couple references in a video a long time ago, and there was like a comment in there, or there were a couple comments I think that were kind of like calling me out for like, oh, I haven't seen anything but JJK, always comparing to JJK. I made like one or two references and that was it. So now I just like these days, anytime I make one, I'm like, there's your JJK reference. Like it's just like a running joke between me and like Pinecino at this point. Like we're, I think, the only two in on the joke, but now you guys are in on it too. So I'm not intentionally doing it this time. I genuinely did think it reminded me of Sukuna. Like I said, this is probably spectacle level best action animation I have seen since that fight in season 2 of JJK. And Pinecino has shared a photo with me because I said the exact same thing in Discord when I finished the episode. I just immediately went there and shared that I finished the episode and shared my thoughts and stuff in there. I guess I'm not the first to make that reference or to think of such a thing, right? Another thing I want to say is the image I'm probably going to use for the thumbnail. I'll throw it up here anyway. I can't guarantee because I haven't made the thumbnail yet, but holy shit, that was one of probably the coldest shot in anime that I have seen in years. I can't think of anything else that I have seen in a very, very long time that just had so much raw energy. Like I can't explain it. There's just something about seeing Frieren with her hair kind of messy looking, with a dead, you're in for it now kind of expression, with that lighting, like that really sickly almost blue bouncing off the replica shadow kind of look that she had. I know it was the replica, it wasn't the actual Frieren, but holy shit, was that cold as hell. That was, yeah, I'm thinking about that shot for a very long time. I will do my best to get that in the thumbnail if I can find a way to move everything around. And yet again, this episode I'm watching a day after watching a ReZero episode that just crushed me. So yet again, this was a really great like change of pace, and I do love that Frieren and ReZero are kind of balancing each other out right now. I like content wise what is happening and everything like that. One is really just like positive almost, and the other is just super depressing, but they're balancing each other out, and I do honestly find it hard to kind of imagine not having one with the other and stuff. Like it's just I think it is a really great experience experiencing both of these series at the exact same time, but it just has me worried what's going to happen next with ReZero, because I have much more of ReZero to go and I only have 2 more episodes after this of Frieren, so I'm gonna have to find something else to balance that out for a little bit. So leave your recommendations down below, and who knows, maybe I'll actually check out Dandadan or something. Like, I don't know what the plans are. I haven't really thought ahead. Going back to the very beginning of this episode. So this episode's going to be one that's there's not a lot to talk about because a lot of it was action, but there are some things that I do want to talk about, specifically with Ubel. She is probably going to be my main focus in this post-episode talk, because otherwise I'll just be talking about how great animation looked and just everything like that. And I do plan on doing that because these animators went off today. Today, this episode was released a year ago, probably at this point. But let me see, March 8th, 2024, a year and a half ago at this point. And I think they deserve to be acknowledged and credited here. I think I obviously I apologize, I won't have names, but I don't want to just skip over the animation and how great it looked. But yeah, like I said, there's not going to be as much to talk about here because of the fact that this was an animation spectacle kind of episode. But anyway, going back to the very, very beginning, correct me if I'm wrong, I did say and ask this while the opening was playing. I asked whether the scene that we're seeing with Syrie, if that was shown from a different angle from how we saw it previously. I think it was the same in the in an episode or two before this one as well, where we got the recap little section where it shows Fern putting her hand up. I feel like we saw a different angle from that as she was putting her hand up. I could be wrong though, so like I asked, please let me know if these little intro recap things are showing different angles, because if so, it just goes to show that these animators care. They're even going above and beyond to reanimate scenes that have already been animated, just to add a little something new, like add a little spice and flair to it. Also, I was scratching myself here, that's why I've got a red mark. I know it's a little off-putting, I apologize, I probably shouldn't have done it, but you know, here we are. The episode then flashes the title screen, of course, The Height of Magic, and that was enough to get me pumped. And then immediately following that, in literal seconds, the animators just start flexing, they just start going off. It is absolutely insane, the spectacle and how great this magic looked, while Frieren was summoning what looked like a solar system or some sort of planet, or I don't know, like a black hole in her hand, like coming from her hand, and she just set it loose and it started doing crazy damage to the surrounding, the area, trying to, you know, damage and harm Frieren, of course. And yeah, that was the first little insight that this was going to be a special episode. This was going to be something else entirely. And it was. And yeah, the animation in everything, every movement, every action, the hair flying around, it looks great, it looks fluid, it looks very natural, which I think looks incredible. The way the rocks are moving, the rubble, everything just looks so smooth and fluid. It's just such a treat to watch. We even see Frieren, as it's happening, create like this big rock golem. I don't understand really what this rock golem did or does, but it did look like it was also sending out the same magic that Frieren was. So I wonder if this is like a replica of her own per se, but it obviously looks nothing like her or anything like that. It probably can't move like her, but it can almost double up on the magic that she can use. Like, I don't know if this is a great reference, but I don't, and again, I haven't really played as many Final Fantasy games as I'd like, but in Final Fantasy X you can get this spell for, well, I say a spell, it's actually an ability. I think it's just called double or something like that, and it lets you do double, sorry, did I say double? I meant like double cast. I think it's called double cast, where, you know, it lets you literally do double the damage of what you would normally do, because you're essentially casting the spell twice but only using one slot, I guess. Also, I'm not sure if you can see him, but Peanut's right there. Look at him, he's looking right at you. So cute. It seems like this golem thing that she creates and summons is pretty much able to do just that. It looks like it's able to double up on what she's doing, but it probably is pretty weak and can be destroyed very easily, I would imagine. But while this is all happening and there's purple flying, there's all these cracks and fractures looking like splitting off from all the magic that they're using, Fern is still trying to get the jump on Replica Frieren. I wish there was like a really easy like Replica reread. Like, there's nothing that just rolls off the tongue. Like, I'm thinking, going to Kingdom Hearts Replica. It's so easy. So sadly, there's nothing like that for Frieren here. Frierica? That just sounds silly though. So yeah, they're still trying to get the jump on her. Frieren is drawing out fake Frieren, Replica Frieren, by making her use magic that will then create an opening for Fern to jump in and cast a spell of her own that will help take this fake Frieren down. But the only downside to all that is that this fake Frieren, like the real Frieren, she can still cast a defensive spell very fast. Even though, as Frieren described, elves can't really react as quickly to Zoltrak as they would other spells, but she still reacts fast enough here to protect herself every time that it's used. So yeah, they're going to have to come up with a new plan, and that plan is mentioned later in the episode. But for now, we're just getting to see the absolute spectacle that is this fight between Frieren, and Fern. And Frieren herself says, "As I thought, this is turning into a battle of attrition." And so now this is the section where we catch up with everyone else and see what they're doing. And we learn that they have split into their groups of who can go and chase after who depending on their weakest matchups, their strongest matchups, and everything like that. Because whoever's weak against one person will be weak against the other, like in the replica. Like it's mirrored exactly. It's not like there's one thing that's different for the other. Like if Lavine is strong against Kane, then she will be strong against Kane in the real one, against the replica one. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it makes perfect sense why they split up the way they do. And I'm glad that they do, because it shows some interesting dynamics, though we don't really spend too much time with them. But the matchups are really interesting, seeing Lavine with Richter here. And we learn that both Denken and Fern have concealed their mana so well that Method A can't even detect them. Method A, who can detect just about everything and anything here, which is super interesting, that she is literally like a jack of all trades. She can do just about anything except detect these two. So she shares that information. She shares that, there's more test takers than replicas that she's sensing. And I guess a part of that as well is because Virbel's group has taken out some. Ubel and Land took out one. So, there are less in that sense, but then as well, you have to think about the fact that Zensei's hasn't shown up, and she can't sense Zensei's either, and that's worrying Frieren a little, because if Zensei is able to get past them all, Frieren's worried that Zensei would kill Frieren and Fern, even though that's not Zensei's thing. Zensei would not kill them, she would just harm them to the point where they would use their bottles. But the point still stands that Frieren kind of, it's like, hey, I need you guys to take care of Zensei for me, because that could be a super dangerous thing. And Zensei's attitude is very interesting, because she's like, wow, isn't this such a fair and positive whatever test or whatever, like it's such a kind and peaceful test, is her actual quote. Like, girl, what are you talking about? We got people almost dying over here over this test, and you're over here like it's kind of peaceful. Like, yes, it can be, could be, but it isn't. And yeah, your replica is even over here like really hurting people, like piercing them through the chest, the abdomen, everything, making them have to withdraw or they will die. Like, what if you got someone who was so stubborn that didn't want to withdraw and they died? Would Zensei see that as something that was on her, like that blood was on her hands because she created this test where this was a possibility? Or would she simply say, well, they should have used their bottle, that's on them? It's just this really interesting morality and this sense of I can't quite read her, I can't quite fully understand Zensei and her thinking, but she is a very interesting character. I wonder if we'll get to see more of her going down the line or anything, or this is kind of like the last we'll ever see of her. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way, honestly. And yeah, right after she says it's a kind of peaceful test, things are looking really well. We go to see everyone fighting and doing a great job, and then we see Lavine and Richter. And I was predicting in the previous episode that Richter would maybe have this grand moment of redemption almost after his fight with Lavine and Kane, and once I saw these two paired up with one another, I thought that that was very possible. But instead, Zensei shows up out of nowhere, pierces through Lavine's abdomen in two different locations, which she just starts coughing up blood immediately. It looks very bad. And then Richter himself is stabbed through the chest. So they're both out. They both acknowledge it. Richter's like, hey, we both need to break our bottles. There's no way out of this thing. That's it. We're done. And yeah, that is the case. They do end up breaking their bottles, but it is just a little frustrating and upsetting to see that is the case because Zensei, the one who is proctoring this test, is taking out more people than anyone else, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, she herself is literally forcing these people to withdraw. And when they get pierced, both of them, it is very like shocking. I didn't expect it whatsoever. And to see the amount of blood spilling out of Lavine's dress and everything, like it's scary. Just the thought that holy shit, she could die here. I like her so much, I don't want her to die. Denken shows up, tries to save them, tries to help, tries to stop whatever it is because he has sensed the mana as soon as Zensei started to use it, but it's not in time. It's too late, and she's already taken both of them out there, running away on their or with their golems. And Denken shows up just in time to be like, well, I gotta buy some time. I guess this is all I can really do here. But then Ubel and Land show up, and this is something super exciting because Ubel steps up and she's like, hey, so do we have to beat this thing in order to finish the dungeon? And Denken's like, well, see, the plan is Ubel's just like, I don't give a shit about the plan. Tell me if I need to do this. And Denken's like, yes, this is something that needs to be done. And Ubel's like, all right, say less. And she steps up to go and do this. And this is the most probably interesting part of this whole episode, honestly. Ubel's character. She is such an interesting one. So Ubel tries to kind of explain why she can beat Ubel here. She says, I know I'm weaker than just about everyone here, but I can beat her because of this. And she uses Real Zaiden, a spell that cuts almost anything. And I've already talked about this with, making the references and jokes about Sukuna and everything. But it's such an interesting imagination that Ubel has. She has this imagination that, oh, I can cut through that. I can do that. I can do anything. It's just cloth. It's just paper. It's just a person. And so she's able to do it no matter what. It's almost like, as Sensei puts it, a superpower. She is so imaginatively overpowered that she can do just about anything. Like, at this point, I do think she could truly probably beat Frieren in a fight. I know that Frieren has lost to, I think, 11 others in the past, or she has lost 11 fights to those with weaker mana. I do think that Ubel could make number 12, in all honesty, because Ubel, she would kill Frieren without hesitation, which is scary. And yeah, Ubel cannot use Sorganile on the replica Zensei because, as she describes, the hair is part of the body, so if she can't see all of the hair as well as the whole body, then there's no way she can freeze her in place. So all she can really do here is use her Real Sidon, and I guess we don't really get to see her use it against Zensei, but obviously the intention and the proof is that she beats her, because a little later on that's exactly what we see. But we get to see Zensei, the real one, her hair falls in front of her face and she's like, I should have known as much. Ubel would be the one to show up to defeat my replica, and I know I'm going to get defeated. It's basically how she's reacting here. She knows she does not stand a chance whatsoever, and so she just kind of accepts it, and she's like, yep, I'm going to get beat here, but it is what it is. I just recall this time with Ubel back when Ubel was simply a third class mage with no merit or anything. She was just basically a nobody, and she was taking part in the second class mage exam and killed a proctor, a first class mage, who has been pretty much described as, I don't know if it's true, but maybe the most defended mage that has ever been in first class position. Like, he created this cloak that meant that he could never be touched or hurt or damaged or anything, and ever since he was a first class mage, he has never been touched, not once. And this test was so that to make the examinees cause him to take a step back. Obviously they weren't going to hit him, but the point of it as well is that you have to make me step back, but if you kill me, you're disqualified, which is really interesting because a lot of these other exams are like battle of the best, basically. Like, if you can't beat this person, then you're not good enough and therefore you should be first class. So I don't understand why this was a rule for this. Like, it just seems so strange. But Ubel, even knowing this, goes ahead and does it anyway, and then makes a little joke at the end of like, oh, I guess I cut too deep. Like, girl, you knew what you were doing. But yeah, that's just proving to us that this spell of hers can do just about anything. Real Sidon, it can cut through anything. And it's because she can imagine it. If she can imagine cutting through something as simple as cloth. This guy's cloak was made of cloth. Despite the fact that it had all these magical defenses on it, if she can imagine cutting cloth, she can cut through that cloth. But she went deeper and ended up cutting the guy himself. So yeah, she is cracked. She's insane. She's overpowered. And I am honestly worried about what we're going to see next from her specifically. And it's described that Ubel trusted her intuition, and her intuition is that I can cut this cloth. Like, it's such a bizarre intuition, or not even intuition. She didn't listen to any intuition that said you can't cut this because of the magic defenses. She trusted the intuition that told her she can cut it because it's cloth. And yeah, she talks about how her sister would sew and she would watch the scissors slide through things. And so that's basically taught her she can do just about anything. I honestly don't know where we're going to go next with Ubel, but I'm worried, as I've already stated. And yeah, we see that Ubel beat Zensei Replica super easily. And yeah, that's basically then the end of that scene. And Methode shows up to ask if the three with Virbel can go and face off against Denken. And this was making me think that this was going to continue into the next episode then, because there's no way this is going to be a scene and then we never actually get to see Denken Replica versus these three. Like, it just felt so almost unnecessary, but not actually, because in this scene we get to see Methode basically telling this group, hey, I'm gonna go take on Fern by myself. I know you say she's pretty strong, but I can do it. It's no problem. I am a master at all things, and it's not like I need to kill her. I just need to keep her in place, and I can do exactly that. I proved it by trying it against the real Fern, and I was able to hold her in place, so it's going to work against the replica. So Methode is super confident, and I wonder if there's more to this scene than maybe we can see. Maybe this is kind of an insight into even more things that Methode can do and her power itself, because she's basically saying, yeah, I can take Fern by myself. And we as viewers know Fern is no joke. She's no pushover. She is super strong. So if she's saying that she can take Fern by herself, that's something to keep an eye on. I wonder if we'll get to see if the next trial is going to be 1v1 fights. I wonder if it's going to be Methode versus Fern. I wonder if we're also going to see Frieren versus Ubel. That's going to be crazy if that is the case. But then I would have thought that we would have seen Denken versus Frieren, or Denken versus Fern perhaps, and then Frieren versus Ubel, you know, like, it's, if that's the case, I don't know, I'm just guessing. I feel like we see a lot of 1v1 things during like little trial sections like this in anime, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's coming next. And so then we get to see that fake Ubel is back. Replica Ubel is back, and replicas can be reproduced. It's not like once you take it out of replica it can't come back. They can be reproduced as long as the Spiegel remains. So yeah, that's crazy. It's something that I speculated previously, and I'm glad that we got that answer. But now they have to deal with a bunch of these replicas all over again. 3 versus 5, I think, at this point, with Denken, Land, and Ubel. And of course, the fake Ubel takes out Land, because it was Land that was able to take her out in the previous episode, so I think that that's really funny. And yeah, then we get to see some more montage of all these different fights happening, and then we come back to the main event in a beautiful red crazy way. The lighting, the animation once again popping off, showing Frieren versus Frieren. It's just an absolute spectacle to watch. And that's when we get a little flashback to Frieren basically being like, hey, if it comes down to it, I'm going to do something crazy that will create an opening for you, and you just need to take it, because the fake Frieren will do something even crazier if it sees me doing something. So you need to be on that. You need to take it down. It might be our only chance. And Fern's just like, how do you know I can do this? And Frieren's like, I've always been underestimating you. But while this is happening, we get some little cutaway moments to seeing Frieren using what might be her ultimate move. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it can be described, but it's the move that she used against the Demon King 80 years ago. And it looks amazing. Like, it is basically, a couple of ways I can describe it. It looks like a universe, a galaxy rather, or it can be described as maybe like a petri dish with all these different like specks and like germs and stuff coming off of it. It just looks like there's all these things that are moving and so much light, so much energy behind this all, and it just looks like an absolute bonkers move that I'm sure she holds back for only special occasions. But it's once she goes to do this that fake Frieren jumps in and is able to get a scratch on Frieren. Does his other crazy bullshit move, which is like it looks like a super Zoltrak, if I'm being honest. And then it follows up immediately by dashing in, trying to get the real Frieren by point blank range doing a spell. And that's of course when Fern jumps in, blasts her down, gets her grounded, and then we see that it loses an arm. And just the chaos of everything that was happening while I was watching it, let me see if I can find it again. The chaos of while I was watching this, it looked almost to me like the real Frieren had lost an arm, and that was shocking to me. And Fern is just blast, 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 using all these crazy spells, just Zoltrak after Zoltrak after Zoltrak after Zoltrak, and this Frieren is not able to block them all. It's not able to do anything because it doesn't have any arms anymore. Fern sees that and it's like, I should finish it. But then that's when we see I can't even speak, Replica Frieren with the coldest shot I've ever seen in anime, maybe one of them anyway. And that's when Fern gets blasted all the way back, and I don't understand how this happened. I don't know if I'm supposed to understand how this happened. Please answer below if I should even know what happened here. But fake Frieren basically uses the height of magic. I don't understand in what sense it used the height of magic, like it used magic without using any mana. Is that the case here? It sent her flying away. It didn't do particular damage to her. I wonder if that's because of the preconceptions that Frieren has, the real Frieren, about Fern, where it doesn't want to hurt her, it wants to protect her and everything, so it doesn't try to kill her, but it sends her away anyway. Maybe it's simply because she doesn't have her arms. She cannot cast a spell that would hurt her. But even so, this fake Frieren has done something incredible, and Fern recognizes that. And yeah, Fern's staff is also broken now, which is insane. Like, I can't believe she's down without a staff now. And as Fern is pinned up against the wall here, she's like, this isn't like you. And yeah, this is the Frieren that beat the Demon King. This is not Frieren anymore. This is that Frieren. She is, forgive me, I don't mean it in a demeaning way. She is that bitch. Like, she is her. Frieren is her. And I'm so glad we got to see this, because we have not really seen Frieren go off like this whatsoever, really, throughout the series. And this was eye-opening. This was really just a great insight into what she can do. And I'm so glad that this was included in the series, because otherwise we would just be like, yep, I bet Frieren could beat that, but we never get any proof of it. And yeah, real Frieren jumps in, defeats the fake Frieren, and that's it. That's the end of it. It all came down to Frieren and Fern taking this thing out together. And yeah, this little Spiegel is defeated so easily. She just takes it out in no time whatsoever. And yeah, there's not really much more to say. They pass the second test and they all go down there, and then everyone that's there is like, where's the ladies of the hour? And that's when you see that Frieren is being chomped on once again by a mimic. This time it's a golden mimic, and it looks like there was another mimic that was already open right next to it. So yeah, Frieren, I don't know when you're going to get that 1 in 99 chance, 1 in 100 chance of finding the grimoire in one of these probable mimics. But yeah, that's the joy of adventuring, the joy of figuring things out. And yeah, you'll always be yourself, Frieren, even after all this, and when everyone's looking at you with a lot of thanks and praise, you're still being your goofy little self. And yeah, I love that for you, and I love that. I love this character, I love these characters, I love this arc, I love this whole dungeon diving section of this arc. And I'm honestly getting a little sad that we're gonna move on from this. This was such a great section of the series. I had a lot of fun with it. Might be honestly my favorite run of episodes of the entire series. And yeah, I'm probably going to wrap this one up now. I love this so much. Ask questions down below if you want to know anything. Let me know your thoughts on this and everything like this. I can only imagine this is probably a lot of people's favorite episode of Frieren, and yeah, I think it's absolutely with reason. But I'm going to wrap this one up. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you've not done so already, and comment down below letting me know, like I just said, what you thought about this and everything. And yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. I hope that you had a great day today, and that you're having a great day today rather, and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.